Ricky was unarmed. The officer was safely within his vehicle, and he shot from the vehicle into a boy with no weapon in his hands.
New here at 9, a family demanding answers after they say their teenage son was gunned down by an LAPD sergeant.
KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers here at the desk now. And Mike, we first learned about this from a pursuit we were covering.
Yeah, that's right, Pat and Juan. This all started Saturday, July 13th. Juan, you were actually here when it happened. There was a pursuit of what LAPD at the time had told us was a shooting suspect. Well, we looked further into that. This is the video from that pursuit here. We covered it. It went all the way out to the Ontario area and then eventually up the 215 freeway before the person inside ultimately gave up. Now, the next day, one of my colleagues, Matt, right here behind me, found a GoFundMe page for a person that was involved in a shooting with LAPD prior to the chase. I want to show you photos of that person. That person was 18-year-old Ricky Ramirez. This is video, or a picture rather, from his funeral service that happened over the weekend. Family members, the attorney for Ricky Ramirez's family, says he was in a car with a group of people in South LA when Vice units came up to them and started following them in the car that they were in. Ricky, along with one other person, got out of the car to ask the driver of the other car what was going on. The attorney says that's when one single bullet went through the rolled up window and into Ricky's chest, killing him. It was later determined that that person was an LAPD sergeant who was working an undercover prostitution operation, according to the LAPD. The LAPD alleges that the group was wearing masks. That's something the attorney says was not true. I had a chance to talk to the attorney today about the case that they're preparing to file.
Their son was really at the threshold of a whole new life. He graduated from high school. He'd managed to get through school in a way that was placing him for success in the future. And instead, he got dragged through death's door by this officer who shot him in the chest. So it is unfathomable that there's a life just at the beginning of its future that was snuffed out by just rash action by a police officer.
Now, it should be noted that the Vice unit that was doing this undercover operation were in plain clothes. They were not in a marked police car at all. And the way that they fired, according to the attorney, is something that you would see by a criminal. They say that's why the other person got in the car and took off. It should also be noted that since these are undercover Vice units, it is very unlikely that there was any body camera footage or any dash camera footage. Typically, those undercover units don't wear those or have those equipped in their cars. LAPD will have to put out a critical incident briefing on this within 45 days of the shooting. So far, that has not been put out. Pat and Juan, I also want to point out the California Department of Justice has taken over this case because Ricky was unarmed at the time he was killed by police.
All right, really tragic, Mike, and thanks for that update, and we look forward to hearing more about this.
Yeah.